So for today webinar, if you have any of the inquiry about the questions, so please welcome raise up your question in our Q&A list. So after that, I will answer the Q&A list accordingly later on, right? Okay, let's start today, right? For those just new for me, so let me to introduce myself first. My name is Aston Kaur, right? Basically, I'm based in Malaysia. This is my email address. Please welcome to contact me by WhatsApp, right? This is my WhatsApp QR code. And today we will talk more the RCS, okay, how our this Ruijie product right? How we are going to sales, what is their features is embedded in our this Ruijie product equipment, right? Now we are start for our this Ruijie wireless overview first. Okay, basically, I think all of you have been very familiar about these pages, right? Because Ruijie is one of the China networking vendor, so we are the one of the niche player. We work with this H3C and LST, TP-Link, D-Link, right? As a Gartner is very high recommenders for all the partner using our Ruijie product, because we do have a very stable platform, okay, for the Ruijie Cloud. Do have this very aggressive management strategy to manage all the product, no matter it's a switch, router, firewall, and so on, right? Even those, as you can know, all of you from our VAD and sub-D, right? You're able to know what is the advanced technology we do have in our Ruijie product as well, especially this coming of few of years, right? We have very hard push our this Ruijie product, but some of you is lack of our this Ruijie technology, right? Today we will talk more about Ruijie product. Okay, just forget the Ruijie. So now we are we are more focused on Ruijie first, right? For this today, right? Especially for the ITC, for last year's, we also are one of the top 3 networking vendor from the China. No matter it's in the Wi-Fi and what we say future market, right? We are the 2 and number 3 positioning in the Ruijie market as well, right? In the China, right? This is one of our this company. What we say organizations positioning in the international market, in the China market as well. Okay, so Wi-Fi 6 product is the first ranking, okay, for 3 consequent years, okay, already in the ITC report from China, right? So basically you can see overall for the China market share, we have to get the 38.1%, okay, for all overall the Wi-Fi 6 treatment in 2021, over 1 million pieces have been shipped out, okay, to the overseas, right? That's why this is what we are going to show to our customer, to give our customer more on this confidence, whereby when they are going to purchase these devices, right? This is one of our proven, okay, saying that to our this Wi-Fi 6, one of very stable devices will be used by the customer as well. Right, and for Ruijie parts today, we will more focus on the Ruijie. We are going to have with bidding with this all the branding like the Cisco, HP, Huawei, Ruckus, right? Most of them normally we are talking about the requirement is like they need to have a high performance for each of the enterprise features, right? For certain of the customer requests, right? Even though the pricing for our Ruijie price is more better compared with the Ruijie, if you have been sell Ruijie product before, right? So we do have a reserve, what we say the pricing of the Ruijie is not so transparent, right? So for those all the project they were going to involve for due rate or non-due rate price, right? Yeah, they will be applicable for our Ruijie product. Even those for this year's Ruijie product, right? For those high-end order, will be going to have a reserve, okay, for this project price as well, okay, for some project protection, right? That's why for Ruijie part, I want to highlight here for those of you, right? Ruijie, we do have one of the direct system, okay, especially you can see more of our this Ruijie product, right? We can go for direct, okay, so to protect your this SI or customer to easy to get the project, okay, without any of one of the SI interrupt easily. Right, so Ruijie is one of we are more on focus for the SMP product, and even though for run rate, but you can see nowadays the Ruijie AP for the maximum throughput for the Wi-Fi speed, right, even more higher than Ruijie nowadays. Okay, the maximum for the Ruijie AP right now is about throughput is 6 Gbps. Okay, this is a maximum throughput for Ruijie product currently, right? And for Ruijie, at the moment it's up to 5.4 Gbps only, right? This is you are going to take note. Okay, so the next question, I think you are going to ask me, wow, really very fast for the Wi-Fi performance, right? Why I still want to push for Ruijie? Okay, because of the enterprise of the features, right? So Ruijie Wireless, we are more focused in the aspect, what we say the enterprise features, but it's not for easy to do the configuration, what we are going to build for you, right? And who will be going to request some expert or even those for this advanced features for wireless network, right? Normally will be requested by some of the what we say big office or even though for the campus scenario, right? And maybe they have a 4-star, 5-star hotel. They are talking about integration, right? Maybe the PMS system or other thing, right? And even though for transportation or some of the manufacturers, they request some more on this what we say the authentications, even those they need to have on-premise devices, okay, for this wireless network scenario design, right? So this request that can be fulfilled by our Ruijie equipment. Okay, mostly we can see this is one of our overview about our Ruijie wireless. We reach of a lot of our enterprise features such as what authentication, radio security, high reliability, hardware AC, even more, or like this what we talk about ACL, SMP, SysLock, and other thing, right? Today I will spend some time, okay, to explain to you one by one here. What is this? Okay, normally when you have been facing for the tender spec, okay, even those you can easily to see this the term they were going to request, okay, for our devices, right? So especially when we're talking about authentication part, right? Normally we do have this term we always will be see in the tender spec, right? Like 802.1x, PPSK, hotspot 2.0, web authentication, even though radius. So what is this, right? So 802.1x is one of the authentication protocol method. Today we are going to talk with you, right? Let's say the customer itself, they have their own what we say the Active Directory. They have their all the staff username and password installed in the one centralized server, right? So they need the Wi-Fi automatically will be go to their server to grab this username and password authenticated with the Wi-Fi devices. Okay, this protocol we need to work with the 802.1x protocol, right? That's why for those enterprise requests, when they have AD directory, there are this username password of the server, right? They need to work together with this authentication as well. Okay, so this is what we say integrations. Our Wi-Fi integrate with their this local database server, okay, for the user and username and password login, right? So they can be done by 802.1x protocol, right? Even those for the next, we are talking about another type of the authentication we call PPSK. PPSK stands for Private Pre-Share Key. Mostly they built for WPA3, okay, PA2, right? As you can see, what is the WPA2 limitation, right? Normally we can create only one password key for WPA2 key, right? By with this PPSK features, we can be built 1,500 key to individual of the AP to store in the individual of the AP, right? Which means the key itself from the WPA2 key, you can create 1,500 key for dedicated of the devices. This is what we are talking about PPSA authentication, right? And the next hotspot 2.0, like the web authentications, right? Normally they will work together, what we say, when the going to access to the public Wi-Fi, they were going to prompt the pages, right? And they were going to require some login, username, password, even though one quick login, right? This is what we are talking about hotspot 2.0 and web authentication, right? And radius authentication, right, is a part, okay, is a part of the 802.1x. Okay, so the 802.1x will be worked together with the radius and the customer database server. Okay, so this is one of authentications always will be easily to see in the some enterprise scenario request. Okay, even those Ruijie AP itself, they do have some radio security. Okay, as you can see, normally we can see when we are talking about wireless security, right? Normally we can see already see is the WIDS and WIPS. Okay, so basically easy for you to understanding, right? So WIDS and WIPS is one of the module is embedded in our Ruijie AP itself. The Ruijie AP itself able to detect it, okay? They're able to detect the entire of the surrounding for the wireless devices. How many of the AP surrounding by our this wireless environment, right? They will show all the SSID. So based on the wireless radio security, right, you can do some quarantine. Okay, you can kick up some of what we say within my area. Okay, I don't want to other SSIDs in my area. Wherever the clients, the user want to connect to the SSID ID, the wireless name is not belong to my AP, right? I will kick them out in my area. Okay, so this is what we are talking about, radio security. Even though some of the scenario, the customer saying that I don't want my AP itself to control by cloud. I don't trust cloud. I don't allow my devices to connect to the internet. So definitely the AP itself cannot connect to Ruijie cloud, right? So you need to manage the whole AP in one time. You do need to have a hardware, okay, centralized hardware. So this centralized hardware normally we call AC, okay, we call AC controller. So the AC will be centralized all the AP, okay, by certain of the traffic like the cat web and what we say, even those for this AC itself that can be integrated with the API, okay, with the third-party API, and they will able to do some read features. Okay, what is the RIPT features, right? Which means when the hardware itself, okay, maybe the centralized controller they are down, okay, they are failure, power failure, or even those they have some material about the hardware failure. The AP itself still can be functioning as a normal. Okay, the AP can be standalone, okay, standalone mode, okay, to still to serve to your customer. But certain of the some features like the authentications is built in the hardware controller, right, will be lost, malfunction, okay, will be malfunction. But for the existing connected client, right, you won't going to affect that. Okay, this is what we call the RIPT features, right? Even those how we are going to prevent when the centralized controller they are failure, right? So we need to have a backup unit. Okay, maybe because I am on premise to control all the AP in the controller AC, right? So how we are going to create some redundancy, resiliency for this kind of the scenario, right? We do have the HA, high availability to key in to this kind of the scenario to prevent the hardware AC controller failure. We need to duplicate second devices, okay, become a HA unit, right? Active standby unit, right? So this technology normally we call VAC, okay, virtual access controller. Today I will talk more in depth about Ruijie, right? So when you need to propose the hardware AC to your customers without the single point of the failure, right? You can go for one unit. If the customer very concerned about the redundancy, I cannot afford any of the downtime, anything in my working scenario. So you can work with the HA, put 2 unit. Okay, you can put 2 unit, and this 2 unit of the AC can be combined to be one. So this technology we call VAC, virtual access controller, right? So for this AC itself, they do have some default policy like CPU protection, CPP. So even those they have MFPP in our this hardware controller itself. Okay, and the next I will talk the last part. So even those we have more features in our this hardware AC controller itself. So we can be do some ACL, okay, which means we can create some policy within the Wi-Fi before they are entering for our this Wi-Fi. We can do some policy, so we can direct restrict this segment of the IP go to where, right? So maybe VLAN 1 I cannot allow them to access to the VLAN 2. Normally, you can tell me, Aston, this can be done by our this switches, even though can be done by our this router. Yes, ACL can be done by switches layer, can be done by router area. So you imagine if I done it in our this wireless level, right? So when the customer connect to the Wi-Fi, the ACL has been kicked in, okay, has been functioned already before they are entering to your switch or router, only can be performed through the ACL. So this is what we say, some of the rich enterprise features we can be created by ACL as well, okay? And the next, I will talking about SNMP. What is the SNMP, right? SNMP is one of the protocol, our this hardware AP or hardware AC can be do some third-party integrations. okay, for some monitoring purpose, right? So maybe you have some software, your customer, they run with their management software to manage all the multi-brand of the devices in one time. Maybe they will go into using the third-party software, okay, like PRTG, like other of this what we say software, right? They have a lot of software, third-party software to manage all the devices as well. So basically, they will work together with the SNMP protocol. Okay, this is one of a very important. Why a lot of the customer they request I want SMP, I want SMP, because they do have some third-party monitoring software to monitoring for all the devices, even though the third-party software can be monitoring all the server settings as well. So you can see the monitoring server, there will be combine everything. Server can be monitored, CCTV can be monitored, switch can monitor, AP, firewalls, router, no matter what is the brand you are using, right? The third party, normally the third party of this software can be monitored within the SMP protocol. Okay, and the next I will talk about the syslog. What is a syslog? A lot of people will know syslog. I heard a lot syslog, but I don't know what is a syslog. Syslog is one of the server normally will be store all the log. Okay, so wherever what activity in our these devices, okay, maybe port offline, port up, online, right? So they require some log. Some of the enterprise, right, they have a best practice saying that I need to store all the log within 3 months, at least 3 months or 6 months. Okay, this is based on some audit. Okay, because most of the enterprise company, all the network devices will be going to have an audit process, right? Based on the audit request, they need to store 3 or 6 month log, system device log. Okay, within this internal log system. That's why they need to build the log server in their own company, and all the devices, the log will be concentrate sent to this log server to keep 3 months or 6 months. Okay, consistently, right? So that's why they need to have support the syslog features as well. Okay, so the next we'll talk about the wireless LAN QoS, right? This is what we call about quality of service between the prioritize about some scenario of the traffic, right? So for Ruijie part, WLAN QoS, we have been referred to this what we say the bandwidth control. Okay, so Ruijie AP itself that can be control the bandwidth. Okay, using the QoS. Let's say the SSID I need to allow how many of the devices to map, or even those the entire of the SSID, how many bandwidth you want to allocate. You also can be do this kind of configuration in our this Ruijie AP and Ruijie controller, right? And even those for these years, our Ruijie AP itself, we have a new breakthrough, okay, about our this roaming. We are starting to support our this 802.11 kVR. Okay, this protocol normally is related about the roaming. Okay, so the past year of our roaming, right, we did not have so intelligence, okay, designed for this roaming with our this Ruijie devices AP, right? But for this year, we are going to have launching this about 802.11 kVR roaming features, right? The roaming will be more intelligence. They're able to share the devices information with the AP. AP will be get all this information to make better for this roaming experience for the user. This is what we call 802.11 kVR, and so on, right? When we are talking about NTP server and client, oh, this is a new term for you, right? What is the NTP? NTP server is our time server, what we are talking about, time server. So why for the enterprise request, they will always request for the NTP server client, right? Because when anything happen to your this network devices, right, the time is very important thing for us to do some troubleshooting. Okay, because if your devices, the time is not synced together, okay, they will be very troublesome for your troubleshooting. Even though something happening, right, your time is not synchronized. Maybe too early, too late, okay, for these devices, right? That's why for the best practice, the NTP server for the enterprise scenario, right, they always will be pointed to the one of the NTP server. All the network devices, even though for this server itself, they will using the same time, okay, same time based on this NTP server time server to provide to them, right? That's why if in case any of the happen, right, they easily to trace all the time will be synced together by their syslog server. So these features we call NTP server client. Even those for MAC VLAN, okay, some of the authentication you need to have a MAC address by with the VLAN itself, right? Yes, they can be supported in our this Ruijie Hub AAC itself. They can be provide some dynamic VLAN assigned by single SSID. Let's say for your customer, they only have a single SSID. For the IT department, when they are going to log in the username password, they're able to recognize, yes, this username password is belong to VLAN 1. Okay, it's an IT VLAN, right? And the second user try to log in by the username password, right? They're able to recognize the username password is belong to VLAN 2 with the single SSID only. Okay, you don't need to create multiple of the SSID to separate all the user as well. So this is what we talk about VLAN, dynamic VLAN, okay, based on the MAC address. And so on, we also have what we say IP shortcut, ARP checking, IGMP snooping. This is one of our a part of our security of the radius itself. They're able to detect any of the variations, okay, about the wireless network that we're going to reporting in our Hub AAC control. So this is a lot of rich enterprise features we're going to sharing to you today for you all. So I hope today will quite understand after I go through one by one explanation, because a lot of people is going to ask me previously, past few years, right? What is this? What is that? Right? Today I have a time, I have a chance to explain all of you one by one, right? So please take note. Okay, so if you have any questions, okay, please leave out your question in our Q&A. So if you need me to explain more detail about this, you also can be request. Okay, so the next I will going to introduce our new Ruijie AP we call 840L. Okay, for the new direction for our Ruijie portfolio family, right? All the devices we have been launching this year will become with by L. Okay, so with the L alphabet, right, we're going to have what we say this year we call we're going to have this digest to let you to know L is belong the devices can be connected to the Ruijie cloud. So for the coming news product, they without L model, right, which means the devices cannot connect to the Ruijie cloud anymore. Okay, for the old devices, how? Okay, the next question I know for the old devices, how? Yes, for the remaining, for the existing devices without L, you still can be connected to a Ruijie cloud. But for new coming model, okay, you can go for ruijienetworks.com. You can check for all the devices with the new coming model that without L, which means they cannot connect to our Ruijie cloud. So this is our new high performance for our Wi-Fi 6 model. So the entire of the throughput for these devices is 5.4 Gbps. This is a maximum. Okay, they will be going to what we say the divide by 2.4 and 5G. Okay, for this 5.4 Gbps throughput. And even though for this LAN port itself, they come with 5 gig port. Okay, they belong default come with the 5 gig LAN port as well. Okay, because what we say this product we try to make it okay without any of the bottleneck. Okay, based on the Wi-Fi, normally you can see the speed can be up to 5.4. If you going to the LAN port only have a 2.5G, right? No point. Okay, no point. We have created 6 gig throughput for you, 7 gig throughput for you. The bottleneck will be always on the LAN port, right? But for our new model AP840, we give you the high performance with no bottleneck with the LAN port itself. Okay, the next question I know you were going to ask me, Ruijie got 5G port for the switch or not? Yes, we do have a 5G port. Okay, you can we are starting to allow you to place the order. Okay, especially I think few more days, tomorrow, after tomorrow, 2 more days, we're going to launch our partner event. Okay, we're going to launch our 5 gig port in the partner event. Even though I think the Iris from Malaysia, Hans from Singapore, and what we say, and Anthony from the Nepal, right? We do have sent you the letters, okay, for the price list to paste the order to our 5G switch port, okay, 5G switch port, okay, 5G switch, okay, in our new model as well. So normally we compare our this model 840 with the Aruba and Ruckus, right? This is the model 515, AP25, and RA650. So normally they do have some weakness. So what is their weakness, right? even though you can see our this wireless speed, yeah, more of us is the same, okay, with the Aruba 5.4 Gbps for the throughput. But the bottleneck between the AP, right, is their 2.5 Gbps. Okay, this is their bottleneck. But for us, we can up to 5 Gbps for the laptop. All right, and for this model 840L, so they come with the AS5400, and they will have a 4x4 antenna for 5G, okay, and 2.2 antenna for 2.4G. Okay, please take note. Okay, for this model itself, they can be maximum up to connected 1,000 users, right? Because they do have some 6 partial strip for high density scenario, and especially for this model, they come with the optical port. Okay, they come with the one of the optical port here. So basically, you can easily to do some extension. Okay, with the 5G connection, 2.5, 1G for the FFP port, right? Even though you can work with our this RJ45 port from here, they do come with the 2 RJ45 LAN port as well, and that can be powered up by the PoE. Okay, PoE power. Please take note, for this model, if you compare with our 840i model, this model is more cost effective, even though for the performance for this throughput, right, higher than 840i model, right? And please take note about this. Please try to sell your existing stock for this AP's 840i model. So the replacement, not replacement, we are not saying that replacement. The new model will be going to have more market selling point, okay, for our this new model compared with the I model as well. Okay, and Ruijie, we do have this. Just now I mentioned we do have launched our this new roaming 802.11 kVR. So this our self-developed roaming algorithm. So we'll be going to assign the best AP to our client. Okay, more dynamically. Okay, so this will be supported by all Ruijie wireless product. So for those the old product, yes, you just need to upgrade the firmware itself. Yep, you can get this 802.11 kVR features. The next, I'm going to introduce our this next model. So the next model for what this AP we call AP820LV3. Okay, so this is one of the multi-G AP as well. From here you can see 820LV3. They also come with one of the fiber port, right? The fiber port can be up to only 2.5 Gbps. Okay, so no matter how fast the speed we are giving you, the maximum can be up to 2.5 Gbps based on the bottleneck on the fiber port, right? And they do come with the one of the what we say the factory reset port. So for Ruijie, all the family AP, right? They come with the standard with the one console, one reset button, right? Why we want to provide some console port and the reset button, right? These are some of the standard spec that we're going to write. I need to, the AP you want to propose to me, you need to have a console port for CLI, right? Even though some of them they were going to request some what we say, key consistent lock. Okay, the device they need to have some lock to protect somebody going to steal these devices, right? So I think Ruijie ceiling type AP, more of them is covered by this lock. Okay, you can have this lock. You can buy the Kensington lock to lock to the devices to some place to prevent somebody to steal to your IP. Right. For this model, they come with dual band Wi-Fi 6. There's not entry Wi-Fi 6. The throughput speed for this 820LV3, there can be up to 3 Gbps. Okay, 3 Gbps for the this throughput speed, right? And they come with 2x2 5G and 2x2 2.4G. Okay, basically for this model, they do have the optical port. You can see they can be 2.5G, even though for the optical 1G. So for some scenario, maybe only one of the place location, you need to pull out of 100-meter distance, right? You can propose for the using the optical fiber port. Okay, for one of the AP only. You need to spend another of the switches to boost up the power to do some extension to the location. They wasted your this what we say, the time and the devices. and even though not cost effective, right? So for this scenario, based on these devices, the pricing is not so expensive. They also will be very suitable for some of the high density scenario, okay, like the meeting room, okay, like the conference hall, right? So you also can be proposed these devices. Okay, even though the customer, sometimes the customer saying that the 840L is too expensive, so you can go with this 820LV3. Okay, this model is not replacement for 820LV2. Don't misunderstanding. All right, so the replacement for 802 LV2 model, right, is the AP810. Okay, bear in mind for it. And this is one of our speed tests we have been done using our AP820LV3 model. So can you guess how many download speed and upload speed from this AP can be performed by this Wi-Fi 6 laptop? Okay, this is some real test. Okay, we are tested by me. I think this result is tested by me. We able to capture for this 820LV3 AP, right, by download speed 848 Mbps. And how about the upload speed, right? We also can be see, even though the download and upload speed, right, they will have a similar, okay, result. Because some of the AP itself, they built for the download speed is very high. The upload speed is very low, okay? Because they have reserved some CPU performance for the download speed. The upload speed will be reserved less. Okay, that's why the upload speed will be slow. But for this unit, download speed and upload speed almost the same. Okay, this is tested by last year's by me, June 13 in Malaysia office, right? And the next, we're going to introduce for our this entry-level Wi-Fi 6 for Ruijie AP. So for those just now, all the features I mentioned, right, is supported for all Ruijie Wi-Fi AP, right? So this is entry-level for Wi-Fi 6. They come with 1.77 Gbps throughput, and they have a 2x2 5G antenna, 2x2 2.4G antenna, right? And for this model, they come with the console port. They have a console port. They have a one LAN port as well. Okay, even though for this, they also can be performed for the enterprise features. Just now I go to explain to you. And the most important thing, the three model have been go through with you that they can be cloud manageable. They have can be cloud managed. There can be hardware AC managed. There can be standalone managed. All right. So please take note. And the last, I'm going to share you some AP comparisons, right? Within the ceiling type model, right? So for Ruijie, we still have a Wi-Fi 5 AP. We only have one more model, okay, for the Wi-Fi 5. So the model is belong to AP720L. So it's a 2x2 antenna for 2.4 and 2x2 antenna for 5G, right? And this is a Wi-Fi 5. Definitely, they do not have Wi-Fi 6. Okay, the throughput entire for the 2.5 and 5 gigahertz is up to 1.167 Gbps. Okay, so they come with the one port, and the next entry level is the AP810. The next level you can move on to the 820LV3, and the next model currently we do have up to 840L only. And for this year's for this coming, we are going to launching our what we say the next model is Wi-Fi 6E is about our this AP880L model as well. The maximum rate for the throughput can be up to 7.77 Gbps throughput. Okay, they also become with the one of the RJ35 5G port, right? And can be combo with the fiber port as well. Okay, so more of them, all of them actually is they come with the OMI antenna, 360-degree coverage, right? Any questions so far for our this what we say indoor AP comparisons? So so I think they do have some question in our this webinar chat. Can share again the meeting QR code just now can't register due to technical error. Okay, so I will going to share you 5 more minutes about the QR code. Please prepare CM link, right? And from the next question, Ruijie wireless product to support this 802.11 kVR. Yes, okay. Ruijie product also support what we say this 802.11 kVR, right? And the next question, the AP820I V3 optical port uplink to 2.5G maximums, right? So the Wi-Fi still can get 3 Gbps speed. This is from one of our partner, Mr. Wan, right? And I need to emphasize here from this today, I will going to, I think the last training I have been going to teach you how we are going to calculate the real throughput, okay? Real environment throughput based on the calculations, the throughput we are showing to you here, right? So I don't know whether all of you still can remember. So how we are going to calculate whether the AP itself, what is the maximum throughput we can be coverage, okay? Especially you can see there's a writing from here is a AP820L, right? 2.976. So whether unified 800 Mbps can be covered for our this ISP telco or not, right? So they might have one of the calculations. So you can be go through to watch back previous the Ruijie RCS. We have been give you the training how we are going to calculate what is the real throughput for our this Ruijie AP. All right. And the next is our this outdoor AP. I'm going to introduce the new model. This is the new model AP680L. It's not CD. For the previous you have been sell out before is a CD model. CD model, which means the AP itself is the antenna is the directional, bi-directional antenna, which means the AP itself can be covered in front, okay, more strong coverage on it, right? But for L model, they come with the omnidirectional antenna. What is the meaning about omni, right? 360 degree. So how we are going to easy to remember omnidirectional is 360 degree. Bidirectional is the direct antenna, right? So normally I base on O, okay? Omnidirectional, which means come with O, right? O which means 360 degree antenna. So these are where last time how I'm going to remember, okay? Before previously, I did not hear the omnidirectional antenna, bidirectional. I don't know. I easy to confuse. Omnidirectional sometimes is the direct or 360 degree. So you easy for you to remember O, which means 360 degree, right? Okay, because the O also cover the 360 degree meaning. All right. For this model, they are designed for bridge scenario because they come with the IP68. Okay, for this model, they also come with Wi-Fi 6 AS3000. They do support the optical FFP port. They have optical and copper port. Okay, then you can do two selection, right? Even those for this, they have one of the what we say the spray collisions, right? To prevent some collision proof, right? Because the board for this AP, we have a special process for some what we say. Coating. We do some conformal coating, one layer of the conformal coating for this AP itself. Even though maybe the casing, the rubber, they're going to melt after a few years, right? Melt after a few years. The board itself, they also have one of the layer of the conformal coating to protect, okay, to have this lower down the risk for the corrosions, okay, to this mechanism of the devices design. And this is what we are going to show you, right? We have been done the special conformal coating for the board. And even though this testing, you can see, right, easily, we are trying to do some humidity test or this short spray test for our these devices using some special device, okay, in the cabinet. So they've been saying that the test of the temperature is about 35 degrees Celsius, and even though you can see the spray volume about 1 or 2 ml, okay, per hour for these devices, even though we give some pH value about 6.5 and 7.2, okay, so you can see the devices still can function as the normal. All right, and next I will going to show you the video about our this outdoor AP AP680L, how the AP coverage, okay, how far we can cover. All right. So basically from this testing result, right? So you're able to see our this outdoor AP, right? We dare to do some testing to our customer, and even though we create a video for your customer, right, to give them the confidence we have been tested this outdoor AP, right? Even those 100 meter, 150 meter, right, 200 meter. So you can see the download speed and upload speed still there, right? Still can be connected, and they do have one of the coverage win, even though 200 meter by the single AP to one of the open space we are going to test it. So this video is very useful for the customers, even though some of you have been asked me before, this outdoor AP normally how far we can coverage, right? This is the result. This is a real result. We have been built a video for you. Okay, so I will share you the download training, download material, right? So you can go to download this PPT. I share you is the PPT format, even though you can present to your customer using this PPT. All right. And the next, I'm going to show you some proven, right, about this AP680L with the waterproof test. Okay, weatherproof. Okay, please take a look. Okay, this video is going to show you our testing, right? We are trying to put these devices to show you some what we say waterproof emissions, right? So we inside the water about 2 hours, so the AP itself still can be function as normal. Okay, so this is our new model AP660L, right? For this model itself, even though for the speed wise, right, it will be more faster compared with the AP680CD. Okay, please take note about it. And the differentiate you can see for this AP that can be turned on up to 160 megahertz. For this model, we only can be up to 80 megahertz. Okay, for this CD model. So bear in mind for this two new model, right? So you need to know in what kind of the scenario you're going to propose this, and what kind of the scenario you're going to propose this. All right. Especially these two models also can be built the bridge, okay, CPE. They can be function as a CPE as well in the Ruijie scenario. Right? So this model that can build up the bridge, okay, for 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer using this model. Okay, there can be a AP, there can be a CPE, there can be in dual mode in the one time. Okay, so maybe one of the scenarios saying that I want to highlight here and more emphasize. Please allow me 2 more minutes. So if you have a scenario, let's say I have a location A, location B, I have a pool, I'm mounting these 2 units, right? I can create a bridge, okay, bridge Wi-Fi, and the bridge Wi-Fi, right? Maybe this is the cable I connect here. This is a switch. I have a switch here. I have a Wi-Fi. Okay, I have a Wi-Fi here. This is a switch. So the internet I can connect here. So I can bridge my wireless about 1 kilometer. Okay, I can bridge using the 1 kilometer using 5G. Okay, 5 gigahertz band. Okay, I'm using 5G, and I still can using the same AP. I still can using the same AP broadcast the Wi-Fi to the handphone or laptop. Okay, so they only allow is 2.4. Okay, they were using the 2.4 to broadcast the Wi-Fi for the devices. The 5G will be dedicated to build the bridge link. Okay, this model is supported. Okay, please take note. And the next, we're going to introduce this new wall AP for this AP180P L. Okay, you can see the new model is come with P and L. P is represents PoE. Okay, L is the between that can be connected to the Ruijie cloud. And this Warbrick AP itself, they also have been upgrade the features. Okay, up to 3 Gbps. I think the pricings for this model with the old model, right, a little bit higher, maybe $1 or $2 USD, okay, or $10 USD if I'm not mistaken. Okay, for this model with the current model, right? And this model they come with 2.5 Gbps uplink, and even though they have a 4 LAN port and extra new thing, okay, there can be have a 1 PoE out itself. Okay, and so on. They also support the universal mount or mounting bracket, and the dedicated will be built for this multi-G switch, right? So Ruijie, we do have a multi-G switch come with the CS86 series. All right, this actually is our 6120 switch. Okay, later on I will teach you why we call that these switches come with CS86. So with this model, they're able to give you some very flexible installations, okay, from here. And this PoE out, we are going to explain to you. Okay, so mostly for this, the advantage for the PoE out, you can connect to some devices, okay, for like, let's say it's a IP phone, okay, you can easily to power up the device using our this Warbrick AP. All right. And for this AP itself, normally they can be worked with multi VLAN for dedicated of the port. Maybe this one I need to have a VLAN 1, this one VLAN 2, VLAN 3, VLAN 4. So you can work for it for our this Ruijie AP itself. Okay, and this is the one of our this bracket. Okay, this what we say the optional bracket you can be purchased to fit in for some of the junction box like the standard US. Okay, the standard US junction box they are unable to easily to fix by the default. We have been designed for the customer, right? So you can buy some what we say the compatible mounting kit. Okay, it's optional to your price book. All right. At the end, this is what we have a comparison summarized for our existing AP180 and AP180PL, right? So in terms of the performance, you just need to have spend another $10 USD, so you can have a double up. I think it's more than double up, 80% of the speed increasing. And even though the uplink itself, they come with 2.5G, and they do have one of the LAN PoE out. The power will be only available for 10 watt. Okay, please take note, 10 watt, right? So at the end, so you can see we do have a Ruijie AP. So in what kind of the scenario you're going to propose Ruijie AP? In what kind of the scenario you're going to propose Ruijie AP, right? So why some of these customers still need the Ruijie AP? Okay, because what? Because they need to have an on-premise control. So normally, who will going to request the on-premise control, right? Normally, it's the government, banking, even though some of the big factory or enterprise company, right? So when they request, they need to have an on-premise controller. So definitely, you need to propose Ruijie AP solution, wireless solution, right? Even those for on-premise control, right? The local authentications, they will more faster. Okay, what we are talking about. They no need to go to the cloud, grab the local portfolio, username, password, only allow the user to go in. They will dedicate direct internally to permit the user to log into their wireless. Even those for the roaming itself, if you have an on-premise controller, right, they will more faster. Okay, a little bit of what we are talking about, millisecond. Okay, so with the controller in the rear tools we are going to test, right, is more faster a little bit compared with the crowd controller, what we are talking about, right? Even those for monitoring purpose like syslog, SMP, yes, that's why you need to have a centralized controller itself. Okay, so this is one of our AC controller. So basically, you can see this enterprise campus controller we call new model. 6512L. Okay, 6512L model. So this is what we calling that they do have a high speed forwarding, okay, up to 40 Gbps forwarding capacity. They come with a fiber port and the copper port. This device model, they will very suitable for some large capacity management. Can be managed 1000 plus AP. Okay, and from here I need to emphasize more detail. If you're going to put the controller to your customer, please bear in mind for wall AP, right? Based on the AP calculations, wall AP is a 0.5 unit. Okay, 0.5 unit for one license, right? So if I mention here, if fully I using the wall AP, I can using 2,304 unit for the wall AP. So if you mismatch, right, you need to know wall AP is we are based on 0.5 unit. Ceiling type 1 unit, outdoor AP 1 unit. All right. So HA, just now I've been go through with you. They come with the HA, IPT, and VSC license. All right. So from here, the new model for our 6512, right, compared with our existing model, you can see for the existing, we have a 6008 model is a basic entry for the Wi-Fi access controller. They only can be managed up to 200 unit of the AP, right? So how about above 200? You need to combine 2 or 3 units for our 6008. Which means everyone there can be have a 200, 400, 600. You can do some combination using our this VSC technology, right? Even though same thing for our 6512, basically we are mentioned 1000. If you need to 2000, please go 2 units. Okay, come with the VSC that can be up to 2 units. And our high-end model, actually, we can be cooked up to 4,000 units is our 6816 model as well. Okay, so this is our Ruijie AC family. And the summary about the spec, more detail, you can see, even those the forwarding rate, they will more high performance. Okay, for DG. And inter AC roaming, okay, that can be very fast within the 50 millisecond. Okay, when they're going to do the switching time, right? And this is the number of the wireless user that can be able to do the manage. Okay, please take note. When you're going to code, please take a note about our this number of the wireless user. All right, so this is our entire of our Ruijie. Okay, we can be AP itself can be standalone managed by our Ruijie cloud. They can give you their topology, Wi-Fi configuration, traffic monitoring, remote troubleshooting. Okay, this is using cloud managed. But if you for on-premise, yes, you can have another of the monitoring from our this access controller as well. All right, and the good news for this May, we are going to launch our this Ruijie AP is supporting our this SOM features. Okay, we can be simply to set up the Ruijie AP within 150 seconds. Okay, 3 minutes. We can be using our SOM to completely to configure our Ruijie AP as well. All right, and Ruijie AP, we also support the 1 gig wireless intelligent optimization, so you can be optimize all the AP in based on your this customer environment. So all the AP will be scanning each other. We'll be going to place the best channel and best antenna power adjustment for all the AP. And more and less from here, you can see Ruijie wireless. We do have an upgrade for this unit for all the family itself, and we still keep the existing model for Wi-Fi 5 and the current for our this existing Wi-Fi 6 AP as well. And the controller, yes, we still have a controller and this existing for this Wallplate AP. So this is our 2023 Ruijie Wi-Fi product portfolio. All right, and next we're going to show you the AP from Ruijie itself. Normally, this is our Ruijie wireless mapping table. Okay, from this table easily you can see this is our all compatible. Okay, you can see Cisco, Aruba, Ruckus. Normally, when you're going to do the product mapping with this model, so you can choose the AP810L. All right, for Aruba, let's say it's a 505, you can choose our 820LV3. Okay, even though for outdoor, wall, blade, controller. Yes, we do have a ready product mapping for you. All right. And next, I will going to give you more detail for our each model about our this what is our selling point. Okay. So from here, you can see for Ruijie itself, our selling point is free cloud. Okay, our 1 unit, no matter 1 unit, 10 unit of AP, you can easily connect to our Ruijie cloud without any of the licenses. Okay, for the one of the model entry-level Wi-Fi 6, they also come with the free cloud. Okay, no need license. Okay, no need license. And we also come with 3 years warranty, one-to-one replacement. This is what we're talking about, one-to-one replacement. Okay. And 820L, yes, it's the same thing. 840L, yes, they come with the extra port, 5G port. They do have an extra 5G port. This is our selling point. And they have a PoE out. For 840L itself, they have a 1 port, they have a PoE out. Easy to do some extension, okay, using our this 840L as well. Okay, and free cloud, no need license, and 3 years warranty. For outdoor, also the same. We do have the high rating protections, IP68, and they do have what we say fiber port supporting. Okay, and 3 years warranty and free cloud. All right, and so on for this wall IP, also the same thing, right? We do have a free cloud compared with the licenses with the Cisco, Aruba, and Ruckus. Even though our price is more better compared with them, right? So far, this entire of the table, you can be studied by your own. Later on, I'm going to share you this slide. Okay, so this is for today wireless part. So the next, I'm going to show you the switch part. All right. And for those just now, have somebody will be going to request for today the QR code registrations. Please go to scan the QR code right now. For those you have been late to join in, so you also can be scan the QR code. Later on, I will send you the email for today, the download training material link, and even though for today, the recording video. Okay, and I can realize that they have some Q&A question list, right? So WPA3 radius, the first question is WPA3 radius security has been introduced 2018. Well, released since 2020. Ruijie still doesn't support it up to this stage. Okay, generally speaking, right, for WPA3 right now, even those integration with the Microsoft Windows itself, they still have some problem. Okay, not only Ruijie WPA3 they have problem, and the WPA3 they still have some problem never solved yet. So we still not insist you to recommend you to using the WPA3, right? The WPA3 we will going to release, okay, but not so soon. Okay, please stay tuned for our this WPA3. All right. And second question, can share again the meeting QR code? Oh, I already share. Okay, CM Lim, you can go for scan the QR code. And number 3 question is RGAP not support Ruijie Cloud. As I mentioned, for the new model for the RGAP, right, without L, right, it's not support Ruijie Cloud. Okay, the latest model, the new model, we're going to release the RGAP. They come with L, only able to support for the Ruijie Cloud. This I think this is a new direction from our company. Okay, so the last question is do we need a gateway in the network when we use a hardware controller? Yes, Mr. Labin, gateway is a router. Okay, wireless controller is just control all the AP within the on-premise scenario. Okay, let's say the customer don't want to AP connect to a Ruijie Cloud. You cannot be manage all the AP in one time. Okay, so you need to have one of the devices to manage all the AP in one time. So that's why you need to have a hardware controller. Router is a part to handle the internet traffic within your network, right? So that's why you need router. Okay. So is this CM? Are you done to scan the QR code? Is yes, are we going to continue the next part? Is Ruijie shift part. Okay, so thank you, CM. right? So the next I will going to share you is about our this Ruijie switch. Okay, so the first thing first, we're going to share about Ruijie switch. So what we are going to highlight about our Ruijie switch, right? So the first thing is software, right? So Ruijie, we do have our this own software for the past year since 2000s, right? And you can see Ruijie, we do have our this own OS we call RGOS. Ruijie we call Ruijie OS. So different, okay, they are using different of the OS platform. That's why some of the people will be going to ask us whether we can mix any of the Ruijie AP with the Ruijie AP. Sorry about that, because they are using different of the OS version, right? So Ruijie we using the RGOS, Ruijie using Ruijie OS, right? So they cannot be have a roaming supported between the mix scenario. So when you're going to quote your customer for the wireless, don't mix the AP. Okay, I'm going to highlight here, right? So nowadays for 2023, our this RGOS has been gradually improved, okay, enhanced up to 12 version. Okay, so within the 12 version, right, our R&D within these 20 years, right, they're keep continuous to do the evaluations, right? You can see the new latest OS is a RGOS 12 version. They're able to support all the features here. Wow, a lot of features here we are writing here. Somebody maybe you are new for you, right? And like BFD, FRR, what is this? ACL, MSTP, right? Normally, this one of our enterprise features will be support for the enterprise grade switches as well, right? Some of the tender spec, maybe you can see they request some web GUI interface login. SSH. What is the SSH? SSH is one of the login method using the CLI command, but it's more secure compared we are going to using Telnet, right? So the management layer also we are consider take some what we say login method. So they can be based on password, whether the password they have encryption or not, right? They all is in our this RGOS as well. And even those for the protocol layers like BFT, routing protocol, FRR, graceful restart, right? Yes, it's supported in our Ruijie switches, right? Even though some of the link layers like MSTP, multi-spanning tree, ISTP, STP, MAC address G.8032 protocol, right, is supported in our Ruijie switches, right? Even though some of the security layer we are talking about, Podcastone, ArtCheck, ACL, MFPP, URPF, right, is also supported. Okay, and for system layer, host patching, hot swap, we are talking about hot swap, hot standby, this all of this request, right? Is depend on our this system layer. So so more or less you can see all the most of the enterprise features is covered by our this Ruijie switches. So this one we are going to have show you to give you some function adopt continuously to add on to our this switches in the future as well. And the first features we are talking about VSU technology, right? So Ruijie, we do have the VSU technology. So what is this technology, right? So VSU we call virtual switch unit technology, right? It can be combined two unit of the switches become one unit. Okay, why we want to combine two unit of the switches become one unit, right? Normally we want to make the simplify about the management for the users, right? And simplify the entire of the network topology for the users, even though they do support some millisecond failover recovery. In case one device fail, there can be failover very fast within few milliseconds, right? That can be fully take over for entire of the network without any of the downtime, right? Even though for the link itself, there can be load balance as well. Okay, so this is why we want to make the network topology design become with the VSU technology because of this. Okay, simplify complexity. Okay, compared with the traditional design, right? Normally, they can have a very enhancement, okay? There can be easily to enhance entire in terms of the link topology and even though for the device topology as well. So 2B1, even though the link itself, there can be cover redundancy, single link and backup link in the same time. Okay, both link will be active. Okay, they won't going to wasted your link active backup, right? Even though sometimes your backup line they have a problem, you also not aware about it, right? So the better design is you need to fully utilize all the resources what you have. Okay, VSU technology is very suited for your customer. Okay, and the next this is one of our switches pattern technology security. So all the Ruijie switches, right, we are designed come with the default CPP CPU protection policy. All the CPU, right, will be what we say the diversified to two plane. One is a control plane, another one is to the data plane. Okay, so the CPU will be diversified to control plane and data plane. Right? Data plane will be fully to handle all the in-out traffic from the switch port. Okay, control plane is normally fully to handling all the CPU memory processing, right? So let's say in what kind of the scenario the PC computer in your customer trying to attack the in-out traffic, right? Trying to send a lot of traffic bump into your switches in-out very fast, very large data. They won't going to cause this CPU and memory high utilization, right? This is one of our pattern technology. We're going to protect our CPU in order that there's attacking in our data plane. They won't going to affect our control plane as well. Another thing, our switches can do some prevention before the traffic go to router or firewall. Okay, there can be prevent some what we say the gut attack, DSCP gut attack, ICMP attack, IP attack, right? They were going to prevent in the switch layer before they go to firewall layer, even though for the other layer as well. A lot of like Cisco, Aruba, Ruckus switch, right? They do not come with this MFPP protections. Okay, for Ruijie, we do have the MFPP protection. Within the switch layer, we can be prevent all this attack, ICMP attack, IP attack, even though DSCP attack, we can be blocked. Okay, we can be blocked, even though we can be do some notification within our switch layer before they go to your firewall. They won't go into infect your infected your local server or other of the user as well. So this is one of very selling point. One is a big selling point in our Ruijie switches. Okay, and Ruijie and the switches since we are using the RGOS, whether this RGOS is easy to use or even those familiar to use or not, right? So you can see from here, if you know the Cisco, right? Mostly the Cisco, all the players, they know the Cisco command. You can using the command in our RGOS as well. Okay, basically most of this command is quite similar with the iOS. Okay, with the Cisco command as well. 85% is we can be easily convert. Okay, so in terms of that, the engineer, for those you know the Cisco, you can easily to handle our switch as well. You don't need to learn any of a new command from our Ruijie side. All right, so for our switch product strategy, today we will focus on Ruijie. So this is our main competitor, Aruba, HP Aruba. And we also have other competitor like Huawei, Cisco, Extreme Network. Okay, so the first thing, first I need to teach you, okay, how we are going to recognize this product by the name. Okay, this is our product naming rules, right? Especially from here, you can see RGS. S is represents switch, okay, which means it's a product category, and the first 2 digits is represent the product family, okay, and the last 2 digits is represent the port characteristic. Okay, well, how many of the port in the switches, right? And the center for this word, right, will be going to represent the port's characteristic, right? So how many of the GT port, how many of the multi-gig port, okay, for the fiber. And the P will be represent the PoE, L will be represent the product grade. L which means it's a simplified edition, right? So from here you can see, sometimes you can see it's a single P, which means a normal PoE, come with the 15.4 watt. LP is the low budget PoE, come with the lower power PoE, right? HP, which means the high power PoE, come with the 30 watt port, and up P, which means they have ultra PoE, right? And they come with the 60 watt or 90 watt. Okay, for the L is represent, just now I mentioned, is a box switch, simplified version, enhanced version, okay, and H, which means it's a advanced version for the single box of the switches. All right, this is our Ruijie whole family from here. As you can see, we do have a CS88, CS86, CS85, CS83, and 2915 series. Okay, so what is the new thing for this? Actually, this is not new switch. Okay, for 2023, we are going to updating for our switch series. So for the past year, as you can see, you're very well known about our 57 series, 61 series, 29 series, 53 series, right? For 2023, we are going to rename, okay, to rename all the switches series for you. Okay, so please take note. All right. So for Ruijie switch family, normally we do have the, what you say, few layer of the switches. We have a L2 plus, we have a layer 3 switch, we have a layer 3 for the core aggregation layer, right? So this is the family about how we are going to recognize whether it's a layer 2 plus, layer 3, layer 3 for the core aggregation, right? So basically you can base from their uplink. Okay. So from the uplink requirement, for the lower uplink, normally you will go to the access layer, 2.5 also access layer. 10G uplink mostly is for the L3 layer. Even though for the 40G, you can go for the L3 core switch aggregation layer. All right. And the next I'm going to share you is a very important for those you are very familiar for the Ruijie product. Sorry about that for this year. You need to remember the new name. Okay. For those that are existing, currently we are selling the switches for the 680HC series. This year's 2023, we are going to rename as 80X series. Okay, 80X series. For their CPU line card, for their this port line card, also will be renamed to CM88. All right. So how about our X6120 series? We will going to rename to CS86 series. Okay, please take note, CS86 series, right? So I think we do have the promotions. Okay, we do have a promotion for our sub distributor and VAD. Also for this what we say, the coming of our this new series, we do have some discount. Okay, we do have some discount. Okay, so if you need to restock for your 6120, 5760, 5310, yes, please place the order right now. I think you can contact our this local sales. For Iris, for Singapore, you can contact our this Mr. Han. Okay. For NEPA, you can contact our Anthony. Okay, if you want to restock for our this existing model. So this is a good time, good timing when we are going to renew them. We also give some discount for here. Some of the specific model, they do have some discount. All right, please check for them. Okay, check with them, right? And for next, for the 5760 model, right, we'll be going to rename CX85. Okay, you can see everything of our this Ruijie switch will be starting from 8. Okay, they were starting from 8 again. So from the 8 series, 88, which means 78 model. X6 is a 612 model, right? And 85 is a 5000 model. Okay, 85 is a 5000 model. 83 is a 5300 model, right? And 29 is 2915 will be changed to CS81 model. Okay, please bear in mind how the new naming rules for our Ruijie switch in 2023. All right, and the next I will going to show you more on in depth about our this switch naming rules, about our this boxer switch. So basically they come do have some explanation. Just now I'm going to show you. So X8 is represent what, X5 is represent what, X6 is represent what. So this is the model, this is the what we say the meaning of the category of the switch layer. Right? Even though for the enhanced unit, high-end unit, they come with the E and H model. Okay, and the port itself, today we're going to talk about the port identity recognition in our switch naming, right? GT, which means they come with the 1G, okay, 1 gig copper port. Twistor pair is the copper port. MS is mean they come with the multi-G fiber port, 2.5G fiber port. SMG, they come with the 2.5 or 5G compatible or 10G compatible copper port. ST, which means 10G copper port. VS, which means 25G fiber port. L, 50G fiber port. FFP, I know everyone is very familiar FFP, right? 1G fiber port. MG, multi-G copper port, 2.5G copper port, right? SS, I think this is everyone also familiar, 10G fiber. QSS, 40G fiber. CQ, 100G fiber. DC, 200G fiber. Okay, please take note, this will be asked in the exam. Okay, please take note for this, right? And for PoE, right, they do have a dash P, LP, HP, UP, PD, LPD, HPD, UPD, and D. What is this? Okay, you can see even though for the voltage different, you can see the voltage different, and even though you can see when they have a PT. So what is the meaning about PT? With full PoE power budget, average about 15.4 watt each port, and support dual power supply. Okay, you can see most of the switch come with dual power supply. They come with the PT or LPD, right? Even though for the HPD and UPT. Okay, so when you see the naming rules, they come with dash D, which means no PoE function. Okay, only support the dual power supply. All right, so basically, I'm going to show you our chassis switch. Okay, which located 8X series. Okay, 8X series chassis switch. So how the chassis switch look like? Yes, this is our chassis switch model. So this is a one switch only, not multi-switch. This is only one switch. The switch is very big, okay, like the mini fridge, okay, like the mini fridge. So from here you can easily to know that this is our module switches. They come with the how many U? 6U, right? They come have 6 module slot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And how about this two? This two is our CPU control engine. Why did we need 2 cards, right? Because we can be active backup. Okay, we can be active standby CPU. In case this failure, we still can have a B CPU to cover, right? And we do have the power module slot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 module slot. Maximum can be 4, right? This can be hot shuttable. From here, all the card, all the power, all the CPU can be hot shuttable, right? You can be power up in the production line. You can change easily, right? Even though this is the line card, you can be pulled out like the drawer. You can the entire of the card you can pull out from this mechanism. And if the power from this 4 power supply is still not enough to cover, you can be additional to plug in another 2 more power supply. Okay, 3 power supply here. Okay, from here, not 3, 2 power supply. Sorry, 2 power supply to additional to cover for these devices. Okay, and these 2 by default they come with 2 fans. Okay, that's why when you purchase this unit CS88 model, they come with the casing, 1 casing and 2 fans. That's all. Okay, this is the optional you need to select by yourself. This is the optional you need to select by yourself. You need to have a 1 CPU, 2 CPU, how many port you need to have a RJ45, how many port you need to have a fiber 10G, 1G, 25G, right? So you can easily build the Lego by yourself. Okay, you can customize the slot by yourself, right? So this is our CS88 model. All right, this is their order information. So by right, you can see this is the casing. This one I mentioned. The casing come with the fan. Okay, two controller engine with a fan as well. Okay, and if you want to buy the CPU engine, yes, this is the part number. Okay, the power supply, we do have a two option selection, and we also have a additional power supply. Okay, on the back end. So this is a three selection, and this is the module card. You can play around with our CM. This is what ATX6 model. Okay, so the next I will going to show you the battle card for our this CS88-8. Normally we will compare with the Huawei S7706 model and Cisco Catalyst 9000 model. Okay, so more and less actually you can see our these features is quite similar, same. Okay, we are compare with their pricing. All right, and then the next table we're going to compare Huawei and Aruba. Okay, this is the model compared with the Ruijie. All right, and this is the all-line card module. You can play around. You want to have a 6 unit of this card? Yes, you can go for it. Each of them 1 unit. You also can be play around with this. Okay, this is our very important line card as well in our this 88-8 model. You rock. Oh. Yes, done. Okay, so I think still got any question? Before that, I move for another 6120 model. Okay, and the next I will going to move for our very cost-effective 10G, 25G switch. So they are located 6120 model. Okay, basically for this year's, we're going to rename this model as CS86. They come with the 20 port with the 2.5G, 1G, 10G. Okay, for 20 port, and 4 VS and 2 QFS port with the D model, right? So basically, this is the L3 switch. They can have they do have 10G of the switches for each of the port here. This port can be 2.5, 1G, okay, and 10G. Okay, depend on your transceiver. Right? And the rest will be 4 port for the what we say is 40G, right? And what we say is this can be referred to our this document as well. And the most important thing today, I'm going to highlight the switch is supported IPv6 and v4. You can see mostly the Ruijie can be support IPv6 and v4, and there can be VSU. Okay, VSU easy for you to understand. There can be stacked 2B1, 3B1, 4B1, 5B1. The maximum for the 29 series can be up to 8 to 1. Okay, for the VSU stacking, right? And they do support a very comprehensive about the security policy, ACL, QoS, VSU for the high reliability for the this link or devices for the what we say link aggregations, right? Even though energy efficiency for dual power supply and easy network management. All right. And what we're going to highlight here is for our Ruijie switch itself, there can be have a HA, high reliability, not only for the device unit itself. Basically, based on the mechanism board we're going to design for the switches, right? They come with the NFDF flash. They do come with the 2 flash. Okay, even those for the single unit of the flash, maybe the firmware corrupted, they still have a second flash to cover to do the recovery, right? So in order that the flash of the this booting time also they will take some consideration for the active backup. Okay, this is what we call about the startup process store with the 2 chipset. And based on the HA itself, we also do some what we say the design about the power, okay, supply about the main power for the board itself. So mostly from here, right, you can see we are compared with the traditional design and the 6120 design for the power design, right? You can see easily when you have one of the power supply failure, the second end power supply only will be take over. Okay, but from our this entire of the design, right, all the power supply is the alive, active, right? Even one of them they have a problem, they will cover each other. Okay, so this is what we are going to have this high reliability power supply design with our this 6120 series. Okay, and whereby where we compare with our Huawei with Ruijie, right? So Huawei itself, they does not support what we say the Zoom-based power supply. Okay, so compare with our this Ruijie X6120, they will what we say we are going to minimize the entire of the failure about the fiber port as well. When they have a fiber port failure, we can be easily to cover each other. Okay, and for 6120 model, this is the better card. For our CS86, it's up to you. You want to call the old name, or you can call the new name as well. Okay, CS86, you don't need to remember too much the digit. Simplify. We simplify all the switch name with the shorter name for you, right? A6 model, normally we compare with the H3C 6520 model and Aruba 3810 model. Okay, so this is the better card. And finally, this is our advantage about our this 6120. So we come with multi-G rate, 225G, 10G switch, and 1G. They come with another 425G FFP, 240G for the FFP, QFFP, right? So we are compared with the H3C, yeah, for this model, right? You need to add another extra 240G port line card. But for us, no need to add any of the line card anymore, right? And for the high reliability, yes, for our Z switches, we are supporting this onboard voltage monitoring. Okay, so the next we will move for our this aggregation layer. I think today a little bit longer. I think still have few slides. Okay, I try to complete as soon as possible. So for the aggregation layer switch, we do have our this model. Okay, so they have our this what we say entire of the centric architecture design, right? They come with 5760C model, and this is our X6 model. Okay, X5 model, sorry, X5 model. So for this X5 model, they do have several of the model itself. They come with 24 port, RJ45, 8 port 10G, or 48 port, RJ45, 4 port 10G fiber. Okay, even those for this years, we have been launching this 24 FFP, which means that we're going to comport RJ45. Okay, and uplink 8 port for the 10G FFP port. Okay, so more of them, 3 of them, they come with 3 years warranty. All right, so basically this the table. They are compared with our 57 series with our or X85 series. Okay, S85 series. All right, and this comparison table about our Aruba 3800 series. So for those if you see very familiar about this model, right? So this is a recommended model for Ruijie. Okay, this is recommended for the Ruijie. All right. So for 5760C as better card, okay, if you compare for Huawei, Cisco, right, this is the model. Okay, just now it's Aruba, right? Now we are compared with Huawei and Cisco. So for Huawei, yes, our 57 actually you can easily to recognize the 57. For Cisco is a C 9300 series. Okay, it's our Ruijie 5000 series. All right. So for access layer for Ruijie, we do have our 53 series. Okay, so basically, as you can see, for our access layer, right, we do have a 29, we do have a 53. So when we going to request propose to customer 53, when we going to propose to our customer 29, basically both of them is the same. Okay, both of them is same. Why we mention same, right? Because I don't know whether you still remember last year's we are shortage of the CPU. Okay, for the 29 series, right? That's why we propose, we come up, we take out a new model 53 series to replace the 29 series during the CPU shortage period, right? So by this year's, I think all the stock has been resumed as a normal. So even though you can quote 29 or 53 series, okay, because some of the tender maybe they say they need L3 switch. Okay, L3 switch, then they need cost effective. Okay, cost effective unit. Yes, you can propose this. Rather than you move for 57,000 series, right? 5,700 series is more expensive compared 5,300. So this some of the, they still have a value. Okay, they still have a value for L3 cost effective customer. Okay. So for this model, actually they're built for 1U size, right? And they come with two model with non-PoE model, okay, 24 port and 48 port, okay, 5,300, okay, and they come with dual power supply. They have a dual power supply, hot shuttable, and some of extra of the scenario for this 53 model, right? They come with the PoE. They do have a 2 model with the PoE, and the PoE power can be up to 7,000 or even though 700, even though 1,000. Okay, with the dual power supply, which means they are supported high power. Okay, the port itself that can be support high power until you fully utilize 1,480 watt each port. Okay, they will occupy by one, right? So for take note, some of the customer they request high power PoE for the devices. You can go for 5,310 model. Okay, with the PoE. Please take note about it. All right, and this is ordering info about our 5,300 model. They have a question from some partner. So cloud support LAN port VLAN configuration for AP180. You need to have a bundle with the CLI, okay, with the LAN port for the AP180. Okay, and next, the second question, all cloud ready. Basically for 5,000 is 5,000 switches is all cloud ready. 2,000 also all cloud ready. 6,000 will be released on June. Okay, and 8,088 6S88 there will be on roadmap. I will get back to you the timeline. Okay, because nowadays you can see the name also changing, right? They need to make sure all the devices also can be connected to a Ruijie cloud. And the last question, maximum, how many 10G FFP port can be supported in the CS88-8? They're based on your this line card module. Okay, how many line card module you propose? How many of the 10G FFP plus that can be supported? All right, the next I will talk about transceiver. Okay, today I'm going to highlight more. Okay, a lot of partner they still do know Ruijie we are selling transceiver, right? So basically transceiver this all the transceiver we are selling. Okay, we do have fiber for SS and fiber for LX. Okay, multi-mode and single mode. Okay, we have a multi-mode, single mode. We have a fiber for these what we say Gbit for 40. Okay, and we do have a ZS80 100. Even those I want to emphasize here, a lot of people do know Ruijie we do selling the transceiver come with copper port. Okay, come with copper port with the transceiver. Let's say the scenario, some of the customers saying that, the copper port for here is 48, right? Still not enough, fully utilized. Maybe I need to have another one extra copper port or two extra copper port. Can your switch support or not? Yes, you can plug in the module with the copper port for this 4 port as well. So this is the part number you can place order. Okay, we call mini GP GT port. Okay, for Cisco we call base T. Cisco we call base T port, base T. So this is a transceiver we are selling for the RJ45 port for the transceiver. All right, for those is what we say the 10G port. This belong to the 10G. Okay, this is a 10G port, 10G fiber. This is a 10G fiber. And the next AOC, right? For our transceiver, you can see when you can see the AOC, they come with 1 meter, 3 meter, 5 meter, right? Which means the transceiver they fabricate. Okay, they fabricate with the fiber. Okay, you cannot dismantle. You cannot dismantle. The AOC, which means the transceiver they fabricate. Okay, with the fiber, can be go with the data scenario, or can be go to the VSC scenario. All right, so you need to take note. This transceiver will be fabricated. You cannot be dismantled with the AOC. All right, and then this is a summary about our 5.3 series model. So you can be good either 2.9 and 5.3. Okay, this is a comparison our internally in these two model with old and new model. All right. Any questions so far? The next question: Ruijie have any roadmap for 10G base T transceiver? No. No. All right. Okay, at the end, so for our this 5300 model can be give you better performance with the high speed layer 3 cost effective, okay, to your customer requirement. All right, this is another additional information to let you to know when we compare 5300 model, right? They do have a lot of new features like the lightning strike. There can be up to 10 kV. For 5300, we are comparing with the Aruba Cisco. Normally, they're up to 6 kV. But for Ruijie 5300, right, the lightning strike mechanisms, we can be sustained within 10 kV lightning strike, right? Even those, yes, for this is switches, they do have some conformal coating, okay, conformal coating to make the switches can be work in the harsh environment, okay, maybe it's high temperatures, maybe in up to 60 degrees Celsius, and even though high humidity environments, they can be work as a normal. All right, and the important thing for the switch, normally we are starting for the new switch design. They also come with what we say, if special bracket we can be offering to you, right? And even though you have one engineer on site, you also can be marked by one person. Okay. Last time I as an engineer before, I going to mark one unit of the device very hard for me. I want to hold the switch. I want to make sure the screw can be fit into the hole by the bracket, right? But for this design, you can see easily we can be screw up 2 screw. Okay, 1 or 2 here. After that, don't tighten it for these 2 screws. Can easily to mark, hold your these switches right in the rack. Okay, after you hold the rack, only you can be close up with another 2 more screws. Okay, so this is the way how we are going to mark our this switch easily compared with the traditional bracket. Okay. And the next, for this model, the maximum for the stacking can be up to 4 units. Okay, this is the design. This is the AOC cable. Okay, I think this is the AOC cable. So you can see they fabricate together with what we say the transceiver itself. All right, And from here, you can see this is the connection when you need to do the VSU. So this is the way how you are going to connect for the cable. Please speaking Nepali Mabolu. So next, for our Ruijie switch, normally they do have some security features. So this what we call CPP and MFPP. Okay, they can able to what we say to control the to make the CPU plan and data plan. They won't going to affect any of this traffic. Okay, to hitting to your these switches to make the CPU high utilization. All right. And other of the information, like what we say, and SNMP, we are supported in the switches, right? Cloud manageable, and all the what we say static routing, dynamic routing, we are supported. IPv6, v4, right? So these are mostly basic features. Okay, is the request for the enterprise switches. All right. And for this is one of the scenario is showing that for some of the scenario like the application switch or access switch layer, right? So how we are able to know what is the application layer, what is the access layer, right? Basically from this diagram, you're able to see for those the interface facing to PC, printer, laptop, AP, right? This is what we call as a access layer. Okay. Application layer within there can be as a core layer as well. So the S3 model, right? S53 model, very suitable for this kind of the scenario. All right, and then this is the table we're going to highlight compared with the Aruba, Cisco, and Huawei. So what is our advantage? Okay. The next, the 4 model for the 53 series. All right. And the last model we're going to showing that to you is our S2915. Okay, normally for this model, right, they will going to replace our last time our 1960. I don't know whether you still remember last time our hot selling switch model 1960, right? So this entry level is our this Ruijie portfolio. So it's called 2915. Even though they have a 10 port, 24 port with the PoE. And for these switches, they also cloud manageable. But the difference between the 1960, right? For this 2915, only they does not support the VSU. No VSU. Okay, compared with 1960. Okay, but the advantage compared with 1960 with 2915, right? 1960 last time their uplink. What we are talking about, their uplink is 1 gig. The maximum of their uplink is 1 G. Okay, but for 2915, the uplink can be up to 2.5 G. Compare last time for 1960. Okay, so this is advantage. Okay, more give and take. What we are talking about, we take out the VSU, but we give you the 2.5 G as the uplink. Okay. Another, we also have a non-PoE 24 port and non-PoE 48 port for 2915 series. All right. At the summary, we do have a 4 model for 2915 series. So please take note, they also cover a lot of enterprise features like ACL, QoS, IP routing, security, management, CLI, console, telnet, SSH. Yes, they are supported. Even though the price even more, I think the most cheaper price for Ruijie switch entry level. All right, and for this 295357 series, we are supported Ruijie cloud manageable. I need Nepali language. Can you make some translate? Okay, I think this one you can be checked with your distributor. I think distributor will be going to translate to you. Okay. All right. And these the features I will go through your CPP and MFPP for our this 2915 and 53 series. Mostly we are supported all these protections, and even though ILDP, You know what is the LTP, right? Loop preventions. For Ruijie switch, we also prevent we do have the loop preventions for all the Ruijie switch model. All model also support the loop preventions, but by default it's not enabled. Okay, please take note. Loop prevention by default in Ruijie is not enabled. Ruijie, yes. Okay, Ruijie, yes. All right, and then this 2915 also can be up to 10 kV surge protection. All right, and the entry level also cover the EE green technology, which means the port itself, they're able to detect based on the PoE to whether it's a sleep mode energy saving purpose. They can be achieved some energy saving purpose. All right, so this is one of the scenario for you to easy to understand. Just now we go to 2915 series, right? So normally, what layer, okay, for 2915 series switch? Okay, normally it's the access layer facing AP, computer, IP phone, CCTV, printer. Okay, normally you can be code our S2915 switch. All right. Another of the scenario you can see for the large campus area scenario. So they also will be easily to fit within this layer, access layer, facing AP, IP phone, camera, and PC. All right. So the next, I'm going to show you some success case in what we are going to serving for this international market using our this Ruijie switches. These are some of our this experience before in 2014, 11 at PAC Summit, right? Asian Game, Olympic Game, even though for the BRICS Summit, right? They do have using our this Ruijie switches in their this event as well. And for some of our reference site, like the large university, especially Tsinghua University is the top one university in the China, right? What we are saying that they're using 9,000 IPv6 terminal and 25,000 of the IPv4 terminal, like PC, laptop, camera, and so on, right? So they will have this frequent online and offline problem previously. So that's why they are using our this more high-end switches. This is another layer of the N18K, okay, N18K series. They're able to cope up to 170K up table, and they have able to serve 107,000 terminal devices. That's why, therefore, they also have what we say using our this core switch in their this core layer, right? And for another of the what we say the Ruijie e-government in the China itself, they also have this VPN request for the e-government built up for the MPLS tunnel using the core switch layer. Yes, they also using our this Ruijie switch solution. All right. And Ruijie, we have been served 300 plus over for all the internet switch company in the China. So even though for the Alibaba, Tencent, ByteDance, yes, currently they are using our switch solutions. Okay, so this entire, even those different of the scenario industry, okay, in the China, even those what we talk about the data center for the Huashan Hospital, we also is one of the top 100 hospital in the China. They're using our this solution as well, okay, for the bigger switch. All right, so I think that's all for my presentation today and webinar today. Right, so I hope today you can gain more knowledge about our Ruijie product. Okay, previously in past 2 years we are more on focus in Ruijie product, so we are lack of this information for you to train you to well know about our this Ruijie features and everything. So I hope today you can gain a new knowledge for our Ruijie product. You can be sell easily in your future as well. So I also will be give you this PPT by email method. And please remember, for those you have been registered, please remember to take your exam. I will assign the examinations start tomorrow onward, so you can take your exam starting tomorrow. All right. So for those VAD and sub D here, all of you need to pass the exam. Okay, if you have any problem, your inquiry, please welcome to look for me. All right, so let me check. They do have some FAQ here. Let me to cover the remaining of the FAQ. So the remaining FAQ is okay. I think it's product naming rules. Okay, I don't think everyone today you can remember all the new product naming rules. So I will going to share your PPT so you can ready prepare yourself to remember the new naming rules about our Ruijie AP and switches. Okay, please take note. All right. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. Thank you for spending your time about 2 hours to my presentations. So I hope today you have a nice, great day for your today. Right? Okay. See you all again. Bye.